All right, so a few days ago, Tom Brady officially announced his retirement from the National Football League after 22 seasons in the NFL. Of course, 20 of those seasons were spent with the New England Patriots, and 2 of those seasons were spent with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And of course, congratulations to the guy. He played an incredible career. He's the best quarterback of all time with winning 7 Super Bowls. That's crazy. I mean, that's pretty much a Super Bowl every 3 years, which is crazy to think about. But I think a lot of people find it easier to praise a guy like Brady after he retires. Not just Brady. Plenty of players get a lot more attention after they retire. Not to say that Tom Brady didn't get attention when he played. Of course he did. He's arguably the most popular NFL player of all time. And he's one of the probably most influential sports athletes of all time in the world. I mean, that's just goes without saying, right? It's Tom Brady. Everyone knows Tom Brady. But I myself have not always been too fond of Brady, and I don't think I ever really have been fond of Brady, because I feel like Tom Brady is kind of the golden child of the NFL. Not the golden child like Stephen Curry is, where everyone likes him kind of thing. Because a lot of Brady haters out there, and I hate to say, I'm just gonna be frank. I consider myself kind of a Brady hater. I mean, the guy, is not really super ethical with his style of play. I mean, I think that whenever you bring up cheating when it comes to Brady, you're automatically shunned and your opinion is not seen as valid, even though there's concrete evidence that Tom Brady cheated on multiple occasions. But I feel like, that just doesn't, people don't, especially, I mean, I guess especially Boston fans, Patriots fans specifically, brush that under the rug. And I think the elephant in the room with Tom Brady and Raider fans is the Tuck rule, right? And I think, a lot of people hate Brady because of the Tuck rule, but I don't think it's, it wasn't Brady's fault of the Tuck rule. I think Brady was kind of, in that situation. Of course, it was the referee's fault of the Tuck rule. And, I just to reiterate, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, the Tuck rule was that play in the NFL playoffs way back when Charles Woodson got a strip sack on Tom Brady, and they claimed that it was an incomplete pass because he was, it was forward motion, although it was clear that he fumbled the ball. And, without that happening, his career, who knows what would have happened with his career. If he loses that playoff game, do the Patriots give him a second chance? We don't know. But I've never been a fan of Brady. I think he's just really arrogant. And I think when you have 7 Super Bowl rings, you're the best player of all time in a given sport. I think you have the right to be to be proud of your success. But I also think he's just overly arrogant. I don't know. I feel like it's hard saying these things out loud because Tom Brady is such an influential figure in the National Football League that, like I said earlier, like if you ever say anything negative about him, especially to his fans, and not so much Buccaneers fans, but more Patriots fans, because he spent 2 decades there, you get shunned automatically, even though, I think some of his Super Bowls are tainted because of the things that happen. I mean, Deflategate, right? The NFL pretty much brushed that under the rug, but people tend to forget Brady was suspended 4 games for a reason, right? And so I think it's clear. Then people also say that there's no evidence it happened. Well, then why was he suspended? That's the thing. And then there's Spygate, which wasn't necessarily Brady, but it was Brady's Super Bowl win, right? So it's like, I feel like the thing with Brady is it's not necessarily him doing the bad things. I think at Deflategate, you could put that blame on him, but I think when it comes to the Tuck rule and Spygate, it's like Brady was kind of in those situations. I wouldn't say he's necessarily the scapegoat, but he's in the forefront of these unfortunate events. And I think the Tuck rule is something Raider fans, will never get over. And so it's hard to respect a guy like that whose career took off, exactly following the Tuck rule game and the Tuck rule play, rather, because that's really when the Patriots were able to win that game. But I at the end of the day, Brady, he has 15 Pro Bowls, 3 MVPs, 7 Super Bowls. I mean, it's crazy, right? And I think also, I don't think you can give him all the credit for those wins. I mean, he was coached, spectacularly by Bill Belichick, and he had a pretty good team his entire career, whether it be in Tampa or New England. But I feel like it's hard for me to say negative things about him when it's not really accepted in the football community, because Tom Brady is the golden child. And like I said, I'm going to say it one more time. He's not seen as the golden child like a Stephen Curry, like a Mike Trout, where everybody likes him kind of thing. He's the golden child in the sense that the NFL loves him. And the NFL is the most corporate league out of the 4 leagues. And so they kind of marketed off, Brady in his 22-year career to expand their league. And I mean, it worked. So take that as you will. But yeah, anyways, guys, that's my opinion on Brady following his retirement. It's going to be weird to not seeing him in the NFL anymore. But let me know your thoughts. I'll see you guys later. And yeah, peace out.